Welcome to Cozy Sleep Haven. Wind down, snuggle up, and let's get cozy. Tonight's episode invites you to join Ella, Havenport's local artist and cozy connoisseur, as she snuggles up for a nostalgic binge into one of her favorite TV shows, Gilmore Girls. Together, we'll step into the charming streets of Stars Hollow and revisit the heartwarming stories of Lorelai, Rory, and the quirky townsfolk who make their world unforgettable. As Ella unwinds in her snowy studio, we'll explore Season 1, episode by episode, reliving the romance, life lessons, and cozy vibes that have made this series a timeless favorite. We hope you'll return as we continue our special 7-part series celebrating the world of Gilmore Girls. Here at Cozy Sleep Haven, we cherish the little things that bring comfort, whether it's beloved familiar characters, the soft glow of twinkling stars, or the warm embrace of a favorite blanket. We are here to help bring comfort at the end of the day, to help you slow down and let the weight of the day melt away. Let's take a moment to find calm together. Gently close your eyes if you'd like and take a deep breath in. And slowly let it out. Feel the tension in your shoulders release as you take another slow inhale, filling your lungs with peace and warmth. And exhale, letting go of any lingering worries. One more breath in and out. As you breathe, imagine yourself under a vast starlit sky. The air crisp but comforting, as though the stars themselves are guiding you to rest. Now, let's begin our journey through Stars Hollow. Wind down, snuggle up, and let's get cozy. The soft glow of string lights wrapped around Ella's art studio, their warm hues reflecting off shelves lined with jars of paint, brushes, and small trinkets she had collected over the years. The room felt like a patchwork of creativity and comfort, with canvases resting on easels, each capturing glimpses of her imaginative world. A soft knit rug cushioned her feet, and the faint aroma of lavender lingered in the air, mingling with the earthy scent of freshly brewed chamomile tea. Ella, Havenport's beloved artist and connoisseur of all things cozy, was known for her whimsical charm and boundless curiosity. Tonight, she had set aside her brushes and paints, choosing instead to indulge in one of her favorite pastimes, binge-watching a nostalgic TV show. Her oversized chair, a well-loved piece of furniture draped with a quilt she had sewn herself, seemed to embrace her as she sank into it, pulling a knitted blanket over her lap. Her tea mug, adorned with hand-painted daisies, rested on a small wooden side table beside a stack of her favorite books. Outside, snow fell softly, blanketing Havenport in a hushed stillness. The flakes swirled under the golden glow of streetlights, creating a scene that could have been plucked straight from one of her paintings. Ella reached for the remote, her excitement bubbling as she scrolled through the streaming service. "There's nothing quite like a trip to Stars Hollow," Ella murmured to herself, her voice tinged with a mix of nostalgia and anticipation. She smiled as the familiar opening chords of the Gilmore Girls theme song played in her mind. Navigating to Season 1, she couldn't help but reflect on why she loved the series so much. It's the perfect mix of heartwarming and hilarious, she thought, taking a sip of her tea, like catching up with old friends. Ella leaned back, letting the glow of her TV screen fill the room. Her fingers traced the edges of her blanket as the snowy scenes of Stars Hollow began to unfold in her imagination. She loved how the show always transported her to a simpler time, a world brimming with quirky townsfolk, heartfelt relationships, and endless cups of coffee. As she closed her eyes, Ella imagined herself walking the streets of Stars Hollow, its charm enveloping her like a warm hug. The cozy scenes from the show blurred with the stillness of her studio, and a peaceful calm settled over her. "Let's start at the very beginning," she whispered, her voice barely audible over the gentle hum of the space heater. Season 1. The episode summaries are like chapters of a story I never want to end. Ella's breathing slowed as she settled into the moment. And so, her cozy journey through the beloved series began, one episode at a time. Season 1, Episode 1, Pilot. Stars Hollow comes to life in the very first episode of Gilmore Girls. We meet Lorelai Gilmore, a witty and fiercely independent single mother, and her 16-year-old daughter, Rory, who is just as sharp and driven. Their unique relationship feels more like a friendship than a traditional parent-child bond, setting the tone for the entire series. The episode begins with Lorelai seeking coffee at Luke's Diner, the town's cozy hub, where we catch a glimpse of her banter with the gruff but kind-hearted owner, Luke. Their chemistry hints at an unspoken connection that will weave through the series. When Rory is accepted into the prestigious Chilton Prep School, it feels like a dream come true. But there's a catch. Lorelai must ask her estranged parents, Emily and Richard, for financial help to afford the tuition. This decision brings tension and the reemergence of old wounds, as Lorelai agrees to attend weekly Friday night dinners in exchange for their support. Meanwhile, Rory meets Dean, a new boy in town, whose charm and quiet confidence immediately capture her attention. Their budding connection sets the stage for Rory's first experiences with love. The pilot masterfully introduces the charm of Stars Hollow with its quirky townsfolk and close-knit community. From Miss Patty's theatrical gossip to Taylor Deuce's micromanaging, the town's personality becomes a character in its own right. As Lorelai and Rory navigate their evolving worlds, the episode leaves us with a sense of warmth and curiosity, inviting us to stay for the journey ahead. Season 1, Episode 2, The Lorelai's First Day at Chilton. The second episode dives into the challenges of Rory's transition to Chilton, the prestigious prep school that represents her academic dreams. Her excitement quickly turns into anxiety as she faces an unfamiliar world of privilege and pressure. On her very first day, she arrives late thanks to Lorelai's misstep of oversleeping and struggling to find something suitable to wear. Rory's embarrassment grows as she navigates the intimidating hallways of Chilton, feeling out of place among her wealthy, polished classmates. At Chilton, we're introduced to Paris Geller, Rory's fiercely competitive and sharp-tongued rival. Paris immediately views Rory as a threat to her academic standing, creating tension that will continue to evolve throughout the series. Meanwhile, Lorelai's efforts to smooth things over with Chilton's headmaster lead to an awkward and amusing encounter, showcasing her charm and unconventional approach to life. The episode highlights the differences between Stars Hollow's cozy familiarity and Chilton's rigid formality, emphasizing Rory's struggle to fit into this new environment. Through it all, Lorelai's support remains unwavering, reminding Rory that they're in this together. Back in Stars Hollow, the episode is sprinkled with the town's signature humor and heart. From Miss Patty's colorful stories to Luke's exasperation with Taylor, these moments provide a comforting contrast to Rory's challenges. The episode ends with Lorelai and Rory sharing a moment of reassurance and hope, reaffirming their unique bond and determination to succeed despite the odds. Season 1, Episode 3, Kill Me Now. This episode explores the ongoing tension between Lorelai and her parents, Emily, and Richard, as their lives continue to intersect more than Lorelai would like. Emily insists that Richard take Rory golfing at his country club, much to Lorelai's dismay. Though reluctant at first, Rory finds herself enjoying the experience, much to her mother's surprise. Richard's reserved nature begins to soften as he spends time with Rory, leading to moments of genuine connection. This budding relationship provides a new layer to Rory's world, giving her a glimpse into the life her mother left behind. Meanwhile, Lorelai's relationship with her mother remains strained. Emily seizes every opportunity to criticize Lorelai, creating an atmosphere of unspoken tension during Friday night dinner. These scenes highlight the complicated dynamics of their relationship and the deep emotional wounds that still linger. In Stars Hollow, the quirky townsfolk provide comic relief as preparations for a wedding at the Independence Inn create chaos. Michael's dramatic disdain for the event and Sookie's perfectionism lead to humorous mishaps that balance the emotional depth of the episode. The episode closes with Lorelai and Rory sharing a quiet moment, reflecting on the unexpected connections and challenges of their week. It's a reminder of their unwavering support for each other, no matter how complicated life becomes. Season 1, Episode 4, The Deer Hunters. This episode highlights Rory's growing pressure to excel at Chilton and her struggles to balance her academic ambitions with the realities of her new environment. After receiving a disappointing grade on a test, Rory becomes determined to prove herself, staying up late to prepare for an important exam. Her meticulous efforts showcase her resilience, but they also reveal her vulnerability. The morning of the exam, disaster strikes when Rory's car is struck by a deer while driving to school. The incident leaves her shaken and late for class, resulting in her being barred from taking the test. The scene humorously captures Stars Hollow's quirky charm while underscoring Rory's mounting frustrations. Meanwhile, Lorelai comes to Rory's defense, confronting Chilton's headmaster and expressing her frustrations with the school's rigid policies. Her fierce protectiveness demonstrates the depth of her love for Rory and her determination to ensure her daughter's success, even in the face of seemingly insurmountable challenges. Back in Stars Hollow, the townsfolk offer their unique brand of comfort and humor, lightening the tension of the episode. Sookie experiments with a new recipe, and Luke provides quiet support for Lorelai, hinting at his growing role in their lives. The episode ends with Rory and Lorelai sharing a quiet moment of reassurance as Rory vows to keep pushing forward despite the setbacks. It's a testament to her perseverance and the unbreakable bond between mother and daughter. Season 1, Episode 5, Cinnamon's Wake. The emotional depth of Gilmore Girls shines in this episode as the town comes together to mourn the death of Babette's beloved cat, Cinnamon. The wake becomes a quintessential Stars Hollow event, blending quirky humor with heartfelt moments as the townsfolk gather to pay their respects and support Babette and Maury in their loss. Meanwhile, Lorelai navigates her own emotional challenges as she contemplates her growing feelings for Max Medina, Rory's teacher. Their flirtation deepens, leaving Lorelai torn between her responsibilities as a mother and the possibility of a new relationship. The episode captures Lorelai's vulnerability and her struggle to balance her desires with what she believes is best for Rory. Rory, on the other hand, faces her own romantic turmoil. She continues to grapple with her feelings for Dean, unsure of how to express her emotions. A brief yet meaningful encounter between the two underscores Rory's innocence and the tentative nature of first love. The episode's heart lies in its ability to juxtapose humor and sentimentality. Scenes of Sookie's culinary experiments and Kirk's offbeat commentary provide levity, while Babette's heartfelt goodbye to Cinnamon reminds us of the bonds that unite the Stars Hollow community. By the end, both Lorelai and Rory take small steps forward in their respective journeys, guided by the love and support that defines their unique relationship. Season 1, Episode 6, Rory's Birthday Parties. This episode beautifully contrasts the two worlds Rory inhabits, her life in Stars Hollow and her grandparents' high society world. It begins with Lorelai and Rory preparing for Rory's birthday, which Lorelai plans to celebrate with a relaxed, fun party at their house. However, Emily insists on throwing an elaborate party for Rory at the Gilmore mansion, creating tension between the two women. At Emily's party, Rory is uncomfortable amidst the formality and the presence of her Chilton classmates, including Paris. Despite Emily's best intentions, the event feels more like a showcase for Emily's social circle than a celebration of Rory. This contrasts sharply with the warm, chaotic energy of the Stars Hollow party, where friends and neighbors come together to celebrate Rory in their own quirky way. The episode also explores the growing divide between Lorelai and Emily, as Emily's controlling nature clashes with Lorelai's desire to let Rory forge her own path. This tension is balanced by moments of genuine connection as Emily's love for Rory shines through despite her missteps. As the two parties unfold, Rory's thoughtful, independent nature becomes even more apparent. She appreciates both celebrations, but ultimately feels most at home in the supportive, down-to-earth environment of Stars Hollow. The episode concludes with Lorelai and Rory sharing a quiet moment of gratitude and love, reaffirming the deep bond that anchors their relationship. Season 1, Episode 7, Kiss and Tell. This episode focuses on Rory's first kiss and the ensuing excitement and awkwardness that it brings to her life. Dean kisses Rory for the first time in an impromptu, romantic moment at Deuce's Market, catching her completely off guard. The kiss leaves Rory flustered and unsure how to share the news with Lorelai, showcasing her innocence and inexperience with relationships. Meanwhile, Lorelai senses that something has happened and playfully prods Rory for details. When Rory finally reveals the story, Lorelai's reaction is one of excitement and curiosity, though she feels a twinge of sadness as she realizes her daughter is growing up. To add to the fun, Lorelai invites Dean over for movie night, much to Rory's mortification. The gathering turns into a quintessentially quirky Stars Hollow moment, with Lorelai trying to balance her excitement with ensuring Dean feels welcome, while Rory grapples with her embarrassment. The episode highlights the humor and heart in Lorelai and Rory's unique relationship as they navigate this milestone together. It ends with Rory feeling more confident about her budding romance, and Lorelai reflecting on the bittersweet nature of watching her daughter grow. Season 1, Episode 8, Love and War and Snow. This episode brings the first snowfall of the season to Stars Hollow, a magical event that Lorelai holds dear. She considers snow a personal good luck charm, and the episode captures her whimsical, almost childlike delight in the falling flakes. The snow sets the perfect backdrop for both romantic and familial developments. Max Medina, Lorelai's burgeoning love interest, unexpectedly visits Stars Hollow after his car gets stuck in the snow. Their time together deepens their connection, and Lorelai begins to let her guard down. However, this also stirs feelings of uncertainty, as she grapples with the idea of opening her heart to a relationship while balancing her responsibilities as a mother. Meanwhile, Rory spends the night at her grandparents' house due to the snowstorm. During the visit, Emily and Richard reveal more about their perspectives on Lorelai's life choices, giving Rory insight into the complicated history between her mother and grandparents. This subplot adds depth to the Gilmore family dynamic and Rory's understanding of it. The episode also weaves in Stars Hollow's signature charm, with Taylor organizing a town reenactment that humorously spirals into chaos. Luke grumpily battles the snow's inconveniences, offering a grounded contrast to Lorelai's romanticism. The episode closes with Lorelai and Rory reuniting and sharing a quiet moment together in the snow, their bond as strong as ever. It's a heartwarming reminder of the magic in the everyday and the love that sustains them both. Season 1, Episode 9, Rory's Dance. This episode centers around Rory's first Chilton dance and the emotional ripples it creates in both her life and Lorelai's. The school is hosting a formal event, and Rory reluctantly agrees to attend after some gentle prodding from Lorelai, who is excited about the milestone. Dean accompanies Rory as her date, marking a significant moment in their budding relationship. Lorelai helps Rory prepare for the dance, lending her an elegant dress and offering heartfelt advice. The mother-daughter bond is at the forefront here, as Lorelai encourages Rory to embrace the experience, even if it's outside her comfort zone. At the dance, Rory feels out of place, but finds solace in Dean's easygoing presence. Their chemistry shines as they navigate the awkwardness of the event together, culminating in a moment of genuine connection. However, Rory's return home takes an unexpected turn when she and Dean fall asleep while talking on the couch at Lorelai's house. Emily, who is staying over, discovers them the next morning and assumes the worst. This leads to a heated confrontation between Emily and Lorelai, highlighting the generational and cultural differences in their parenting philosophies. Emily's disappointment and Lorelai's frustration underscore their deeply rooted conflicts. The episode ends with Rory apologizing to Lorelai, reaffirming the trust and openness in their relationship. It's a poignant reminder of the challenges of growing up and the importance of communication in navigating those transitions. Season 1, Episode 10, Forgiveness and Stuff. This episode revolves around reconciliation and the warmth of the holiday season as the Gilmore family gathers for Christmas. Lorelai and Rory are still navigating the fallout from the events of the previous episode, and the tension between Lorelai and Emily is palpable. The episode begins with Lorelai feeling excluded after Emily uninvites her from the family's annual Christmas dinner. Emily's lingering frustration over Rory and Dean's couch incident continues to strain their already complicated relationship. Lorelai finds solace in Stars Hollow, where she spends time with Luke, who offers his signature blend of grumpy comfort. Meanwhile, at the Christmas dinner, Richard collapses from an apparent heart attack, sending the family into a state of panic. Lorelai and Rory rush to the hospital, where the gravity of the situation brings everyone's emotions to the surface. The crisis acts as a catalyst for reflection, forcing Emily and Lorelai to confront their differences and prioritize family over past grievances. Amidst the emotional turmoil, moments of humor and heart shine through. Sookie's over-the-top holiday preparations, Luke showing up at the hospital with food for Lorelai, and the quirky behavior of the hospital staff all provide levity. The episode ends with the family gathered around Richard's hospital bed, sharing a quiet moment of relief and unity. Lorelai and Emily. Season 1, Episode 11, Paris is Burning. In this episode, Lorelai's budding romance with Max Medina takes center stage, but it also brings unexpected complications. The episode opens with Lorelai and Max growing closer, sharing flirtatious moments that hint at the depth of their connection. However, their relationship is put under scrutiny when news of their involvement begins to circulate at Chilton. The situation creates tension for Rory, who must navigate the awkwardness of her mother dating one of her teachers. Paris, ever competitive and opportunistic, seizes on the gossip, using it to embarrass Rory at school. This deepens the rivalry between the two and adds strain to Rory's experience at Chilton. Meanwhile, Lorelai wrestles with her feelings for Max, torn between her attraction to him and her concerns about how their relationship could impact Rory. She ultimately decides to end things with Max, prioritizing her role as a mother over her personal happiness. Their breakup is bittersweet, marked by mutual respect and lingering affection. Back in Stars Hollow, the town's quirky charm provides moments of levity. Luke offers his usual no-nonsense advice, and Sookie's kitchen antics lighten the mood. These scenes balance the emotional weight of Lorelai and Max's relationship struggles, grounding the episode in the warmth of the community. The episode ends with Lorelai and Rory sharing a quiet moment of reflection. Lorelai reaffirms her commitment to protecting Rory's well-being, even at the cost of her own happiness, while Rory expresses her appreciation for her mother's sacrifices. It's a heartfelt reminder of the bond that drives the series. Season 1, Episode 12. Double Date. This episode is filled with humorous misadventures as Lorelai and Rory find themselves on two very different double dates. The episode begins with Lane, Rory's best friend, mustering up the courage to ask out a boy she likes, Todd. Nervous and inexperienced, Lane convinces Rory to come along as moral support, turning her date into an impromptu double date with Rory and Dean. The outing quickly goes awry as Lane discovers that Todd isn't the intellectual or thoughtful person she had imagined, leaving her disillusioned. Rory and Dean do their best to salvage the evening, but the contrast between the two couples adds to the humor. Meanwhile, Sookie takes center stage as she finally works up the nerve to ask Jackson, her produce supplier, out on a date. When Jackson insists on bringing his cousin Rune along, Sookie ropes Lorelai into joining to make it a double date. The dinner is hilariously awkward, with Rune being rude and dismissive of Lorelai, much to everyone's frustration. Despite the chaos, Sookie and Jackson's connection begins to blossom, setting the stage for a potential romance. The episode highlights the complexities of dating, the importance of friendship, and the inevitable awkwardness of navigating relationships. It's a lighter installment, filled with quirky Stars Hollow charm and moments of heartfelt connection between the characters. The episode ends with Lorelai and Rory regrouping at home, sharing laughs over their disastrous evenings and finding comfort in their bond. It's a reminder that, no matter how chaotic life gets, they can always rely on each other. Season 1, Episode 13, Concert Interruptus. This episode highlights the growing bonds between Rory and her Chilton classmates, as well as Lorelai's penchant for mischief and fun. The episode begins with Lorelai winning tickets to a Bangles concert and surprising Rory with the news. When Rory reluctantly invites Paris, Madeline, and Louise to join them, it sets the stage for an unlikely girls' night out. Paris, still prickly and competitive, initially resists Rory's attempts at camaraderie, while Madeline and Louise are more interested in flirting with boys than the concert itself. The night takes an unexpected turn when Madeline and Louise sneak off with two older boys they meet at the concert. Rory and Paris team up to find them, and their shared frustration over the situation becomes an unlikely bonding experience. Through their banter and teamwork, Paris begins to soften toward Rory, hinting at the start of a tentative friendship. Meanwhile, Lorelai spends the evening reminiscing about her youth, enjoying the music and the carefree atmosphere. Her playful side is on full display as she dances and sings along, reminding Rory and the others that life is about finding joy in the little moments. The episode balances humor, nostalgia, and character development, with Rory taking steps toward building a social life at Chilton while remaining true to herself. It also deepens the mother-daughter relationship, as Lorelai's zest for life inspires Rory to embrace new experiences. The episode concludes with everyone returning home safely, a little wiser and more connected than before. Rory and Lorelai reflect on the night's adventures, sharing laughs and reaffirming their unshakable bond. Season 1, Episode 14, That Damn Donna Reed. This episode explores gender roles and relationship dynamics as Rory and Dean confront their differing views on traditional expectations in relationships. The story begins with Dean casually mentioning his appreciation for the 1950s TV show, The Donna Reed Show, which depicted an idealized version of suburban domestic life. Rory is intrigued by his fondness for the show, but also baffled by its outdated portrayal of women as homemakers. The conversation sparks a playful debate between them about traditional roles in relationships. Rory decides to experiment by recreating the world of the Donna Reed Show for an evening. She dresses in 1950s-style clothing, prepares a home-cooked meal, and greets Dean with a perfectly staged dinner. While the gesture is meant to be tongue-in-cheek, it also serves as an opportunity for the couple to better understand each other's perspectives. Dean appreciates the effort, but ultimately admits that his love for the show is rooted in its nostalgic charm rather than a desire for a traditional dynamic in their relationship. Meanwhile, Lorelai and Luke engage in their usual banter, with Lorelai teasing Luke about his stubbornness and Luke subtly showing his protective side. Their scenes provide lighthearted humor and a hint of their underlying chemistry. The episode also features Lane grappling with her mother's strict rules after she secretly buys a CD of forbidden rock music. Her small act of rebellion highlights her desire for independence while staying true to her roots. The episode concludes with Rory and Dean sharing a heartfelt conversation about their relationship, affirming their respect. Season 1, Episode 15, Christopher Returns. This episode marks the arrival of Christopher, Rory's father, and explores the complicated dynamics between him, Lorelai, and their families. The episode begins with Christopher unexpectedly arriving in Stars Hollow on his motorcycle, charming everyone he meets, including Rory, who is thrilled to spend time with her father. His presence stirs up old feelings and unresolved tensions for Lorelai, who is caught between her lingering affection for him and the frustration of his past unreliability. Lorelai invites Christopher to Friday night dinner with Emily and Richard, a decision that sets the stage for an evening of awkward confrontations. Emily and Richard are delighted to see Christopher, viewing him as the ideal match for Lorelai and a chance to restore their family's traditional structure. This leads to heated arguments, as Lorelai defends her independence and the life she's built with Rory. Meanwhile, Rory bonds with Christopher over shared interests and begins to see a different side of her father. Their time together is heartwarming, but also bittersweet, as Rory becomes aware of the challenges in his relationship with Lorelai. The episode also includes lighter moments in Stars Hollow, with the townsfolk reacting to Christopher's arrival. Miss Patty's flirty commentary and Luke's subtle irritation add humor and insight into the different dynamics at play. The episode concludes with Christopher admitting his shortcomings to Lorelai and expressing a desire to be more involved in Rory's life. While Lorelai appreciates his honesty, she remains cautious, prioritizing stability for Rory over rekindling old feelings. The final scene shows Rory and Lorelai reflecting on their unique family dynamic, reaffirming their bond amidst the complexities of their relationships. Season 1, Episode 16, Star-Crossed Lovers and Other Strangers. This episode revolves around love and its complications, set against the backdrop of Stars Hollow's annual Firelight Festival, a romantic tradition celebrating the town's founding. The episode begins with Dean planning a special evening to celebrate his 3-month anniversary with Rory. He arranges a dinner date and surprises her with a sentimental gift, but the night takes a turn when Dean declares his love for Rory. Unprepared and overwhelmed, Rory freezes and doesn't say, "I love you" back, leaving Dean hurt and confused. The tension between them highlights the challenges of young love and the differing speeds at which people navigate their emotions. Meanwhile, Lorelai is navigating her own romantic drama. She reluctantly agrees to go on a date with a man her mother set her up with, but the date is an awkward mismatch from the start. Lorelai's quick wit and sense of independence clash with her date's traditional expectations, and the evening ends in hilariously disastrous fashion. At the Firelight Festival, the town gathers to enjoy the festivities, and the episode balances the romantic highs and lows of the characters. Luke offers Lorelai a grounding presence, their subtle chemistry adding warmth to the evening. The episode concludes with Rory and Dean's relationship at a crossroads, as Rory wrestles with her inability to express her feelings. It's a poignant exploration of the pressures of young relationships, juxtaposed with Lorelai's humorous attempts to navigate her love life. Despite the emotional challenges, the Firelight Festival provides a comforting reminder of the enduring charm of Stars Hollow. Season 1, Episode 17, The Breakup, Part 2. This episode deals with the aftermath of Rory and Dean's breakup, showcasing how both Rory and Lorelai cope with heartbreak in their own ways. The episode begins with Rory burying herself in activities to distract from her emotions. She spends the weekend helping Lane with a school project, reorganizing her room, and even agreeing to join Lorelai on a shopping trip. Anything to avoid confronting her feelings about Dean. Despite her efforts, Rory's sadness is evident, and her attempts to keep busy only underscore her heartbreak. Lorelai, eager to cheer Rory up, encourages her to come to a Chilton party hosted by Madeline and Louise. Reluctantly, Rory agrees and attends the party, where things take an unexpected turn. Paris, initially surprised by Rory's attendance, bonds with her over their shared discomfort at social events. The two form an unlikely alliance as they navigate the party together, hinting at the beginnings of a genuine friendship. Meanwhile, Lorelai has her own encounter with an ex, Max Medina. The two reconnect over coffee and share a heartfelt conversation about their unresolved feelings. Lorelai's mixed emotions about Max parallel Rory's struggles, highlighting the complexities of relationships at any age. The episode also features a humorous subplot in Stars Hollow, where Luke begrudgingly agrees to let Kirk test a new diner loyalty program. Kirk's antics provide comic relief, offering a lighthearted counterbalance to the episode's emotional weight. The episode concludes with Rory returning home from the party, finally breaking down and admitting her feelings about the breakup to Lorelai. The mother-daughter bond shines as Lorelai offers comfort and reassures Rory that it's okay to feel heartbroken. Their shared moment of vulnerability is a reminder of the strength of their relationship, even in difficult times. Season 1, Episode 18, The Third Lorelai. This episode delves into family dynamics as Richard's mother, the formidable Lorelai Trix Gilmore, makes an unexpected visit to Hartford. Trix's arrival stirs up a mix of excitement, anxiety, and chaos among the Gilmores. Trix, who is outspoken and unafraid to voice her opinions, quickly shakes things up. She takes a particular interest in Rory, commending her ambition and charm, while subtly critiquing Emily's socialite tendencies. Emily, feeling undermined in her own home, grows increasingly frustrated with Trix's presence, leading to comedic and tense exchanges. The main conflict arises when Trix announces her intention to gift Rory a trust fund to ensure her education is paid for. While Rory is thrilled by the gesture, Emily and Lorelai have mixed feelings. Emily worries that Trix's offer is a critique of her and Richard's ability to provide for Rory, while Lorelai is concerned about how accepting the money might impact her independence and relationship with her parents. Meanwhile, in Stars Hollow, Lorelai seeks advice from Luke, whose pragmatic outlook provides clarity. Their conversation further strengthens their bond, with Luke subtly showing his supportive and caring nature. The episode concludes with Lorelai deciding to graciously decline the trust fund, reaffirming her desire to provide for Rory on her own terms. The tension between Emily and Trix simmers as Trix departs, leaving a ripple effect on the Gilmore family dynamics. Despite the challenges, the episode highlights the strength of Lorelai's resolve and the enduring support system she shares with Rory. Season 1, Episode 19, Emily in Wonderland. This episode brings Emily to Stars Hollow, offering a rare glimpse into Lorelai's world and further exploring the tension and misunderstandings between mother and daughter. The story begins with Emily accompanying Rory to Stars Hollow for a tour of the town. At Rory's suggestion, Emily decides to visit the Independence Inn, where she is struck by Lorelai's success and professionalism. Despite her initial surprise, Emily struggles to reconcile Lorelai's accomplishments with her own expectations and lingering disappointment over Lorelai's choices. Lorelai, determined to show Emily her life without pretense, invites her mother to visit her house. Emily's reaction is mixed. She is horrified by the small size and lack of luxury, but she also sees for the first time how much love and effort Lorelai has poured into creating a home for Rory. Meanwhile, Rory spends time with Lane, who is grappling with her strict mother's control over her social life. Lane's subplot serves as a parallel to Lorelai and Emily's relationship, highlighting the complexities of parental expectations and individuality. Back at the inn, Sookie has her own storyline as she attempts to impress a food critic with her culinary skills. Her efforts, filled with humorous mishaps, add a lighthearted touch to the episode. The episode concludes with Emily reflecting on her visit to Stars Hollow. While she doesn't explicitly express approval, there's a subtle shift in her perception of Lorelai's life. Lorelai and Emily share a quiet moment of understanding, hinting at the possibility of healing their strained relationship. Rory observes the exchange, feeling hopeful about her family's future. Season 1, Episode 20, P.S. ILO. This episode delves into the complexities of love and communication as Rory and Dean grapple with their feelings following their breakup. The episode begins with Lorelai encouraging Rory to write a letter to Dean, hoping it will help her process her emotions. Rory resists at first, but she eventually decides to write an honest and heartfelt note. The process forces her to confront her feelings about Dean and their relationship, as well as her own insecurities about expressing love. Meanwhile, at Chilton, Paris continues to warm up to Rory, showing a rare moment of vulnerability as she seeks Rory's help with a class project. Their growing camaraderie adds depth to their dynamic as Paris begins to see Rory as more than just a rival. Back in Stars Hollow, the town buzzes with excitement as preparations for the annual picnic basket auction get underway. Lorelai's basket becomes the center of attention when both Luke and another local bachelor show interest in bidding for it. The light-hearted competition provides humor and a hint of romantic tension between Lorelai and Luke, showcasing their undeniable chemistry. The episode climaxes with Rory delivering her letter to Dean, only to discover that he has started dating another girl. Heartbroken but determined to move forward, Rory returns home to find comfort in Lorelai's unwavering support. Their conversation emphasizes the importance of self-discovery and resilience in the face of emotional challenges. The episode ends on a hopeful note, with Rory deciding to focus on her ambitions and friendships, while Lorelai teases her about the future possibilities of love. It's a poignant exploration of growth, heartbreak, and the enduring strength of the Gilmore Girls bond. Season 1, Episode 21, Love, Daisies, and Troubadours. The season finale ties together ongoing storylines and sets the stage for future developments, focusing on love, closure, and new beginnings. The episode begins with Lorelai and Max reconnecting after weeks of uncertainty. Max, still in love with Lorelai, proposes to her in a grand romantic gesture, presenting her with 1,000 yellow daisies. While Lorelai is moved by his efforts, she is also conflicted, unsure if she's ready to take such a big step. Her hesitation highlights her fear of commitment and the impact her choices may have on Rory. Meanwhile, Rory decides to confront Dean, seeking closure after their breakup. Their conversation is emotional and honest, with Rory expressing her lingering feelings while acknowledging that they've both grown in different directions. It's a moment of maturity for Rory, as she accepts that moving on is part of life. In Stars Hollow, the town troubadour becomes an unlikely focus of attention when his singing sparks a debate about public performances. The quirky subplot adds humor and charm, showcasing the town's unique personality. The episode's emotional climax occurs when Lorelai tells Sookie about Max's proposal, admitting her doubts and fears. Sookie, ever supportive, encourages Lorelai to follow her heart and take the time she needs to make the right decision. The season ends on an introspective note, with Lorelai and Rory sitting together on the porch, reflecting on the changes in their lives. Lorelai is still undecided about Max, while Rory feels a mix of sadness and hope about her romantic future. As they share a quiet moment under the stars, the bond between mother and daughter remains the unshakable heart of the series. As the journey through Season 1 of Gilmore Girls draws to a close, we leave behind the charming streets of Stars Hollow, its quirky residents, and the unforgettable moments of Lorelai and Rory's lives. The laughter, love, and heartfelt lessons of their world linger, wrapping around you like a warm quilt. Take a deep breath in and slowly exhale. Feel the comfort of your bed beneath you as the gentle rhythm of your breath guides you into rest. The snowy nights and glowing lights of Stars Hollow fade into the distance, replaced by the peaceful stillness of this moment. Know that your cozy friends will be here waiting for you whenever you return, ready to guide you into another soothing journey. Until then, let yourself drift off, carried by the calm and serenity of this cozy corner of the world. Good night and sweet dreams.